We are live at Perform Better Summit, Rhode Island. I'm here with Dr. Matt. And Dr. Matt. They are from Strength in Sport. They also run the podcast. Name of the podcast?
Roadie Strength.
Roadie Strength. So definitely check that out. There we go. Boom, boom, boom.
Selfish plug.
Yes. They are based in Rhode Island and Providence.
Yes.
To be specific.
Yep.
So, yeah. I want to ask you guys a few questions here as we're hanging out. Number one, you guys, I mean, there's lots of ways you can answer this. You got your practice.
Yep.
You have your just the business. You have your podcast. But what's one thing that you've learned recently? It could be a new thing you learned. It could be something that maybe challenged a belief and you changed it. Whatever would come to mind.
I think the first thing I've learned most recently is the social emotional connection in coaching. I've had a client that followed me in joining Matt, to which in the atmosphere of the gym that we work out of, I didn't think the character of the client that I'm talking about was going to mesh with the gym whatsoever, and I was shocked when they signed up for therapy services through our practice. And honestly, the breakthrough that I've had with this individual, the couple of times I've seen him so far, has been paramount comparatively to the way that we were doing things before.
Amazing.
So seeing that kind of emotional connection, that human connection that we can kind of have outside, of insurance providers has been incredible.
Now, I could be way off base here, but is there another point within there about assumptions?
Big time. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely told myself a couple stories in this scenario which were not accurate at all.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, if this were about me, it's not. I would share tons of examples where I did the same thing. So that's awesome. And how about Dr. Matt? What do you say?
My brain went more tactical and very, very recent. There was a couple light bulb moments just by having the podcast here today and talking to so many incredible guests and smart minds in the strength and conditioning field. Just when we talked to Rocky, some of the things he was talking about with the foot and the way the foot contacts the ground and how that can lead up to the knee, lead up to the hip was kind of up in the clouds. I kind of understood a lot of that, but when he really started to break it down, especially when he was talking about some of the examples of in the NBA with all the Achilles tearings, he's like, what's the number one injury in basketball? And in my head went to I don't know, maybe ACL. He's like, it's rolling your ankle. I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then he's like, why do you think all these Achilles injuries happening? What's so close to that? How does the foot change and mechanics change after all these ankle rolls? He's like, I'd be really surprised if a lot of these, and he's worked with a bunch of obviously high-level basketball teams. They need to really start looking into that first, and then getting. And so that was kind of a light bulb. That was where my mind. I went very tactical. That's where my mind went to first. Yeah,
I like it because you have totally contrasted points, both super helpful. Most of the people listening, I would say, are in the same world we're in.
Sure.
So you obviously can consider that a little broad for you, so you can kind of choose how you want to respond. But what's a value you can give? Could be again related to rehabbing people or your business or even your podcast. Anything that just would be in your wheelhouse that would be a good value add for our listeners.
I would say promoting how much you care, about the individual.
Love it.
Not necessarily. The exchange or any sort of financial component, more of, that we do care about you, we care about your goals, we care about all the things that are kind of coming down the path. And there's nothing that you're going to say to you that we're not going to care about at the same token.
Man, I go back to my business, and I think we did that well. And I think it's so easy. And this is coming from two high-level physical therapists. They have a lot of knowledge when it comes to anatomy. And that's the answer. Right? It's so easy to get caught up in how much we know and talking about that as your differentiator, where, there may be a place for that, but it's the old adage, right? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
How much you care.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
How about you, Matt?
You actually, I was going to say that exact quote, unfortunately, so now on the fly I have to think of something else. Can you say the original question for me one more time?
The original question is, because you got a bunch of different sort of areas of expertise, right? You're an expert physical therapist. You have a great practice. You got the podcast. What is a tip that you can help people with?
A tip. So my mind kind of initially went to, again, some of the value-based tips, but I think more of a tip for other PTs or maybe other businesses, other practices was I think something that Vincent Gabriel said, it was on Thursday, regarding your marketing can be incredible, your sales can be incredible, your business practices can be incredible, your strategy, your strategic planning can be incredible, but if that 1 hour the client's with you isn't perfect, you still have to have a really good product. The product is very important.
Yeah.
Obviously all these other business practices are equally as important, but if the product sucks, then you're going to have a pretty hard time, in business in general. So I think that was a take-home point to me. It was like, hey, and I think a lot of the overall themes of the weekend have been care. They care about the client, make sure they're having a good experience when they come in, and professionalize the coach, professionalize the trainer. We need to be the leaders in health, fitness, and well-being, essentially, 2025 and on. So I think that having a really good product and continuing to iron sharpens iron, being here, learning from other professionals is
like
huge.
it.
Yeah.
I'm going to break my own rule and go slightly over time.
Yes.
And I want to follow up to that. What if I'm honest, I'm not dialed in as much as I need to when it comes to my product. But first off, how do I know that? What are some thoughts on, I want to kind of evaluate my product, and then from there, I do want to improve. How do I kind of go about that?
Yeah, good question. I think I guess a few different ways you could look at that. From a collaborative approach, asking other people who are experts in the field, who are doing what you're doing, doing better than what you're doing. I think someone else we talked to was like, what are your competitors doing? Maybe was it when we talked to, I forget who we talked to.
A gentleman from Hamden that his wife lives in Westerly or something.
Shoot.
Do what your competitors are doing better.
So find people who are doing stuff in the space.
I think that was me. But
was it you? Okay.
No.
See what your competitors are doing and add that extra layer of be the best in your area. You don't need to be technically world's. Who is it? Who's here? You don't need to be the world's best PT. Maybe they're in United Kingdom, but the person living down the street from you isn't going to go see them. Be the world's best PT to your local circle.
To the
be like, hey, if
seeing.
I'm a CrossFitter and I have a knee injury, the world's best PT for me is going to be this CrossFit PT who's going to help me.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Final. Yeah.
If I had to answer the question, I would say two things: collect some data. Number one, to see, just do not make the assumption, as we were kind of talking about before with that client that I was mentioning to you. So collect some data, see if your product is really as good as you think it is.
And when you say data, is that survey or?
Even metrics. We use a lot of different systems to kind of check and see if we're making a difference data-wise, like binary type of scenario. And then I would say the second is minimize the noise. Don't let those intrusive thoughts where things kind of take control on what you're thinking of in that moment. Actually apply it to the human.
Awesome. Can I add one more point? Just a quick one.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of a secret shopper too.
Yeah.
Having some consultant come in and be like, hey, what can I change here with my product, with my business?
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I like it. We did that with clients where it's a little, maybe a little shady, but we would have a client do that, and we would not tell the staff.
Sure,
and the client would then give us feedback.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's very cool.
Last question I want to ask you guys is about what you have going on. What's something that project, something you're excited about, really anything that you wanna share. Maybe you share it because you want people to know, you want to check out the podcast, or maybe it just inspires people. Like, oh yeah, those guys are working on this, and I can think about that for myself.
Okay. Professional side, building my presence within strength and sport. Getting myself up to speed a bit. I'm a little lagging behind Matt and Tad there just because of sheer amount of time that I've been with them. And then selfishly, I still compete in weightlifting, so my competition cycle is coming up very soon.
Nice.
So within the next 6 weeks or so.
Do you have any goals?
Trying to PB the old snatch this time around comparatively to clean and jerk. Clean and jerk, is a little bit more of a strength part of mine, my lifting. So it'll be fun. See if we can get after it.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm going to answer in the same way, in reverse order. I signed up for Ironman race coming up.
Nice.
So just prepping for that from a personal athletic standpoint, which has been really fun. And then, from a business standpoint, I'm excited. I mean, obviously, with the growth of the company, bringing Matt on board, a stellar PT, I would even say a better PT than I. So having his knowledge and expertise in the company has been outstanding. And then being able to, with between our 2 locations, between Providence and Portsmouth, now having more opportunity for hours that are available for people is going to be huge. So really excited to continue to grow the company that way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How important is it for people to have goals outside of their business? Like you got your goal.
Huge. I'm going to steal another presenter's quote again. We were talking with 2 people that work with the Deca world and Reebok.
Oh, yeah.
And
Travis? Yeah.
Grayson and Katie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were talking about put it on the calendar.
Nice.
And what they meant by that is, have that goal, put it down on the calendar, hold yourself accountable to that goal. And they referenced a lot. I was a collegiate athlete. I think Matt messed around in college as well, the same type of scenario. And when you come off of that college scenario and you have that kind of structure, you're doing this at this time and this at this time, this at this time, that disappears when you become an adult. You're like, now I have this job, I can do that really well, but what about that other stuff? That was kind of doing good. And that really spoke to me a lot, with like the lifting world, like I know when competition 1 is, I know when competition 2 is, I know what I got to be hitting at what time, things like this. So putting that on the calendar, and you can apply that to all things, not just your personal scenario, but professional as well. I think that really hit home, with some of those things.
And then can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. How important is it to have goals and things you're doing outside of your practice or your business? Like your fitness goals or family goals or whatever it is.
I like what you said, too, of sometimes if you don't have a goal in training or in business, you can kind of get caught with going through the motions a little bit of just kind of spinning the wheel of what am I working towards?
Yeah.
Another, I think it also was from either Vincent or it could have been Chris Braden. I think actually it was Chris earlier on Thursday. Said a quote that stuck with me, a gold nugget, was excellence is not a destination, but it's more of an orientation.
Wow.
So if you're doing things in your day-to-day that are creating a path of excellence, that's really what it's all about.
Nice.
You're never going to reach true excellence. It's kind of up in the clouds type thing. It's more of am I orientated in the direction of where I'm getting that way. So having that North Star, your goal, is going to be helpful.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I wish we could keep going because we could go on for days.
Yeah.
But I think the lessons are put people first and your relationships. Work to focus on the journey, not just the destination.
Totally.
And get your butt to events like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
There we go.
Boom.
Of course.
Appreciate you guys.
Perfect.
Yep.
Appreciate you.